This was by far the craziest, most intense game all year so far for the Sharks. 13 combined goals between the Sharks and Blues. They lose 7-6. And I mean, just for the entertainment, it was a good game. Just all that happened throughout it. And, it was really interesting. Devin Dubnyk was in net for the Sharks. He allowed 7 goals, which is really not that good, but I'd say a lot of that was due to the defense. But our offense, I guess I'll give it to them. 6 goals, and, they just didn't win. I mean, you're out. I don't get how you score 6 goals and still lose. And it felt like whenever the Sharks scored, particularly in the third period, and the second actually, the Blues would respond right away. Like 30 seconds after they scored, the Blues would just answer back with another goal. And, you look at the Sharks, player of the game for the Sharks would probably either be between Kane or Meyer. Both of them had 2 goals apiece. Couture had a really nice goal. LeBanc, they all had nice goals. I think the offense was great. And Carlson was back. And one thing to keep in mind, the Sharks were postponed recently against the Golden Knights because of a COVID positive test, and that was Tomas Hertl, who was not in the lineup. So obviously, if he played, we could have been a different outcome because he's a really good player. Another thing to point out on a side note, we wore these jerseys, which sucks we lost in them, but I think they're some of the best in the entire league. So, that was pretty cool. I love these. Yeah. As for the Blues, geez, a lot of scoring for them too. For them, their captain Ryan O'Reilly had a goal. Sanford had a goal. 2 for Scandella. Well, he actually had one towards the end that put the Blues in front. Samuel Blaise had a goal. Mackenzie McEachern. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce that. He had a goal. Braden Shen had a goal. He's a fast skater. Good goal for him. They pulled Jordan Bennington after he allowed 4 goals. And then they put in Ville Husso. Husso. I can't pronounce these hockey names. But he allowed 2. Yeah. It's disappointing. I think it's annoying because I think this was one of the games where our offense actually played well. We scored on the power play. The Blues, there was all sorts of scoring. The Blues scored shorthanded. We scored at full strength on the power play. It was just intense. And I was on the edge of my seat, jumping up and down at some times. This game was tense. And Dubnyk did not have a good game, but we could question how much of that was his fault. I think a decent amount of it was, but the defense has been lacking. I feel like whenever the Blues came down the ice to our zone, there was a chance that they would score, a very, very good chance because of the defense. And it's annoying because we get in front. I feel like whenever we lose close games, we are actually in front, and then the other team opponent comes from behind. And we've been actually playing decently against the Blues this year, so it's disappointing. And this game went to the wire. Even when there was 10 seconds left, the Sharks were making an effort to tie it up. Yeah, so they had a decent amount of shots. I'll give them that. Donato had a great game. Despite having no points, he had 7 shots on net. And I think that's, a good indication of where we're at. I think we're getting a lot of shots, but we're not scoring enough. We are scoring 6 goals. That's good, but we're not scoring enough to win. And I think we just got to keep up the good scoring, but improve the defense, And, you look at our schedule, we're playing the Avalanche for a 2-game set. So, that's going to be a lot tougher than previous games. And we're playing the Knights again, too. And obviously, we had a postponed match that we'll, remake. And hopefully, Hertl's okay. He's a big role player in this team. I think he's going to be out around 2 weeks with the COVID. So, hopefully, Sharks lose 7-6. They moved to 7-9-2 now. So, kind of falling below 500. The Blues are now at 11-8-2. We got to get better. I'd like the offense. It was an exciting one. It was a fun one, but we lost. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like I said, we'll play the Avalanche next. Let me know what you guys think. I love these jerseys, and I'm glad they wore them tonight. Sharks lose. Thanks, guys.